समझ नहीं आ रहा अपने सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या करूं।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है, अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के SIP का टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
क्या समझ में नहीं आया?
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है, अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का SIP टॉपअप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
अब समझा।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Since I'm talking about some of your viral moments, your second viral, it's hard to say which was more viral, is you not knowing whether to burst out laughing or sit quietly like a girl who's been scolded next to Jaya Bachchan ji, who's looking at you and saying, Priyanka, don't try and control me. Can you tell us the story of that moment? Because I know Jaya ji, and I have such fondness and such regard for her because she's so unapologetically herself, and it's so rare for women in particular in public life to be that. I was just giggling because I could kind of feel what you were going through. But tell us what happened.
No, it was, she's very affectionate. She's extremely loving and she's extremely caring. And she's almost like a mother figure to me. And she has, right from the day I started off as a parliamentarian, been guiding me. And she has her moments. Yeah. Everybody knows her moments. And I shouldn't have been doing what I was doing.
Were you actually tokoing?
No, I wasn't. So she started off her speech exceedingly well. And there was distractions coming from the treasury benches, which happens every time she gets up to speak. And she was looking at them, and I was trying to remind her that, listen, we just have 4 minutes and you're making a great speech. And I just pointed to her notes. And she was turning around to say something to them, and she saw me pointing at her notes. And she very affectionately said, listen, don't control me. I'm going to handle this.
She did say it calmly like that.
Of course. It was like, how a Masi or a mother tells you, okay, listen, you mind your business right now. So we all burst out laughing because everybody knows my equation with her.
Yeah.
Everybody also knows that she says things out of affection, not out of anger.
Yeah.
And that is how that moment had become viral, because it saw she saying something to me, and my reaction was more of, laugh it out, because I did the Abel Mujamar
Did you feel sometimes a little scared of her?
No. So when I went out, as soon as the speech got over, so we were waiting for her speech to get over, and then we would head out to lunch. And as I was heading out, I said, listen, there was no internet in the chamber, but I'm telling you, when I switch on Twitter or check my Twitter account, I'm going to be getting trolled. And it was happening exactly like that. And then we both laughed about it. And of course, then the meme that particular video took a life of its own, with people doing memes and people asking me this question. But it was such an innocent, I think it will go down in parliamentary history as something which occurred, which was a nice, light-hearted moment.
And everybody laughed.
Everybody laughed.
Across party
was
lines.
Laughing because everybody, even Jaya Shankar ji was there. He burst out laughing. All of us did not. And you're like, okay, we've had the Jaya moment inside the parliament.
But, she had another moment recently outside, and I'm only asking you about this because you know her well, where she got very upset that somebody was trying to take a selfie with her without her consent, and she sort of got angry and, she pushed the guy away. And she immediately got caricatured. Nobody paused to think, ye kya hua?
Sahi baat.
So how do you look at that? And I'll tell you why I'm asking. Because I think there is a certain lens through which women in public life are seen. And because you know her so well, because you have been a first-time entrant into this public space, I want you to talk a little bit about when you look at a video like that, when you see the way Jaya Bachchan is deconstructed, she's called arrogant, she's called all kinds of things. No. Do you ever tell her ki mat ho gussa? What do you tell her?
No. So, of course, she has her moments, and she's a woman with her mind of her own.
Correct.
And one of the most independent spirits that I've ever come across. And that is why love and respect for her is sky high, simply because she doesn't care, if I can use the word damn.
Yeah.
She doesn't give. She is what she is, and she's unapologetic about it. You can troll her, you can say whatever you want. She's unaffected by it.
But did you tell her ki bhai Jaya ji, aapne kyun gussa hote hain?
So, yeah, of course, we did have this conversation, but she was like, everybody knows that she has a problem with photos. And in India, ever since cameras came, mobiles came with cameras, we've just forgotten the personal space and boundaries that people have. And they think politicians, especially women, are up for a photograph anytime, anywhere. Of course, I totally also empathize with men who have politicians who have to go through these selfie moments, but sometimes gets invasive, right? I've had people where I tell them, "Bhaiya, thoda dur rehkar photo kheench lo."
Yeah.
You know, because once that photo is out there, you don't know how it's used, in what context it's used, or it gets morphed, or various. And women have to think of all of this, especially those who are in public spaces.
Yeah.
So, of course, the person without asking, just coming and he was pretty tall in build. And
Were you
coming and
there-
taking
were you
a photo.
there or did
no,
you ask
I was just. I was speaking to another MP friend of mine and just turned around, and Misa was right behind because 3 of us had come together. And Misa was telling the person that
Mat karo, thoda dur raho.
Photo hi mat lo. You know, this is not, of course, this is a public space, but don't take the photo.
Yeah.
We keep doing this many times. That don't approach her because unnecessarily.
Who was the guy?
I have no idea. I haven't checked, but I believe he was a journalist. So, I mean, and considering a journalist should know better, right? How it is.
But do you think she gets too angry? Have you had
She
that
has
chat
her
with
angry
her?
moments. It's all I can
So
say.
it's not her
She tells
her
me also-
husband was the angry young man, but she's actually the angry woman.
Yeah, but she speaks her mind and it's
Yeah.
forgotten in 2 minutes.
Absolutely.
And I think that is the brilliant honesty that shines through. People may troll her, people may say anything about her, people may be bitter about their experiences, but that is
I
how
will
she
say
is.
about her, what you see with her is what you get.
And
There's
I'm
no
a
pretense.
lot like that. I don't have several phases to me or several shades to me. I see a lot of myself, and probably when I grow older, I'd be a lot like.
आपको बड़े होके जया बच्चन बनना है?
No, I don't know if I'd be the same, but I do feel
What
that-
you're saying is it's a variation of being plain spoken.
Yes, I am. And that is a very different way of how politicians are perceived.